Well, good morning. It is day number 4 in the North Absorka Wilderness, and I'm just leaving my campsite area. I would call it late morning. And towards morning it got cold. I mean, real cold. Colder than it was yesterday. I don't know how cold, because I laid there and waited for the sun to hit my tent before I got out of bed. So I never checked. All the water I had was froze. But no big deal. The sun is feeling really good. Seems like it's going to be a warmer kind of a day. Let's see, where do I want to go? I'd like to cross the creek again and go down the trail. How do I get around this bugger? I forget. I'd like to go down the trail 3 or 4 miles and then just come back. Maybe just 3 miles. Have an easy day. Something inside me just tells me to take the day off, just kind of hang out. Maybe I should. We'll see here when I get to the creek. Creek flowing pretty good. Kind of cleaned up overnight. Right here's where I crossed. They don't take long, but by the time I walk across, my feet hurt. Little ice. Looks like maybe an elk scrape on that tree. Maybe a little one over here. Or not a scrape, a rub. Broke up branches kind of high up. Pretty much, this is the trail's been down in the timber along the creek. Of course, it's all downhill, kind of, which means it'll all be uphill going back. And some fresh grizzly tracks on the trail, but not a lot. And a couple of fresh wolf track, but not a lot. And it's warming up to be a nice, beautiful day. Kind of looking across the way. That slope on over there is where I came in. And then you can see part of a saddle way up in there. That's where I came over. Got grizzly tracks on the trail and also an old boot track. Human, obviously. Grizzlies don't wear boots. So when I came over that saddle and then just walked across that slope, and I stayed below that rock up there, and yet I stayed above that little piece of rock right there, went through that little dip, and then I started coming down. And you can see some rock right over there, and this big rock. I went right behind that big rock and then down off into the creek bottom. And I kind of expected this trail that I'm on to be on the other side of the creek here just for a little bit, but I was wrong about that, obviously. So I think all I'm going to do today is go to where this trail does cross the creek and gets on the west side of the creek. Saw a mule deer over on those slopes. I just saw one, but there might be more. Little horny toad. One of my favorite creatures. And that's a very serious statement. I love them. I think they're cool. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. And they're just real gentle, and I hate when people pick them up. But I'm taking a lot of photographs of them. Most recent tracks on the trail are grizzly going both ways. Kind of hard to tell which way the bear was headed last, but I think the most recent track is headed up the creek, but I would say there's several days of grizzly tracks on here. And there's a few horse tracks too, but not fresh. Somebody's been in here. Looking back, kind of on a little exposed knob here, or a little hump. And the trail, it just goes down and goes into that timber over there. Well, it's warming up down here in the bottom. I'm headed back, and I don't know how much more video I'm gonna do. 2 days ago, I brought 2 video cameras, and one died. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not the battery or anything. It's just, I believe it's broke, and it's not that old. Wind in the trees, love it. And then I got this camera to video, and I already used up one battery, and evidently I left home without charging this one because it doesn't have much life left to it. It's the afternoon of day 5. And I'm heading out. I don't know what time it is. I was gonna look, but it's no big deal. Kind of hazing up over there today. I'm kind of down in that sagebrush area where I saw that grizzly the very first day, and I saw a few tracks, but only one that looked fresh, so I'm assuming that was what he made that first day. I'm headed towards that saddle, but I decided not to cross the creek. I thought, in the interest of keeping my boots dry, if I changed my shoes twice, I wouldn't be any further off crossing the creek. Maybe been a little easier hiking, but I can slow down. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go out. So someplace along the line I'll close this video out, but I got a little battery. Fresh grizzly track right here. Going the same way I'm going. Lots of wind. Feels good though. Little game trail here. It's full of, this is where I walked the other day. There's grizzly and me, and lots of grizzly track. That bear's located in here. This game trail is pretty nice for traveling, but I'll feel better when I'm headed up and off of it. That bear's walked both ways several times on this thing, and so I got this rock up here, creek's down there, and the grizzly trail's here. Once I get on the other side of this little piece of rock, it'll open up. And I'll feel a little better. You know, there's times when a man says to himself, or a person says to themselves, this is just not the place to be. And where I'm at right now, it's not the place to be. There are tracks frickin' everywhere. And there's at least 2 different sizes, maybe 3. So, and the ages vary from when it was wet to what I believe very recent, like maybe yesterday and today. But my saddle that I have to cross is coming up, and I'm going to go around here and head up. Okay, here's more. Well, I'm about, I don't know, half a mile from my vehicle. I'm on an old road, and boy, I'm tired. That was one of the most difficult downhills I have ever experienced in my life. Because it's not an established trail like by the Forest Service where they would make switchbacks. It's just people going up on horseback, and they just, basically it's straight up and straight down. Anyways, enough whining. I'm gonna pull this little pole out of here and go home. As always, I want to thank everybody that stayed with this video and watched the entire thing. Beautiful creek here.